Hi, today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite books for kids, Dog's Colorful Day by Emma Dodd. Now, this book labels itself as a messy story about colors and counting, but we're going to show you today some ways that you can use this book with your child and access lots of other things besides those pre-academic skills of colors and counting. Early literacy skills like recalling and memory, some kind of early emergent comprehension question answering, using context clues, trying to figure out maybe the answer to more open-ended questions, and also a little bit of problem solving. So let's look at it. So we have a book about Dog. It's so simple, in fact, that his name is Dog. It says, "This is Dog," and it talks about how he's white and has this one black spot. And you'll see, as the story goes, he encounters different messes and objects and substances and activities that end up putting lots of different colorful spots on him. He goes red and green and blue, all the way up until he's got about 10 different colors on him. Now this page I really love because it's a great example of how we can make a contrast between some really basic close-ended questions that you might be used to asking your kid, like, what color is this? And there's only one answer for that question. It's green. Now, there are lots of open-ended questions that demand a little bit more language from your kid, or at least put your kid in a position when you're talking about this book with open-ended questioning, puts your kid in a position to have to think a little bit more and use a little bit different language and to think a little bit harder and use more context clues. Another open-ended question is, I wonder how he got that green spot. It's something that your kid might have to think a little bit harder on and look around more instead of just, green spot, it's green. It's, he has a green spot because of the grass. And now we're linking two ideas together because of using our context clues. We're expanding our language more and we're expanding our thinking skills. The last few pages are really my favorite because this is kind of a big, beautiful pop of color for the kid to see. It goes over all the spots that Dog has gained throughout his day. Talks about his red dot of jam and his blue paint and his orange juice splash. But what I really like about this book, besides the labeling of all the colors like we talked about, we can also open this up for some opportunity to recall and work on your child's memory skills. So for this one, oh, here's Dog's red spot. How did Dog get his red spot again? I can't remember. Your child might know right away. Oh, it's from breakfast. It's the jelly or the jam. But if they can't remember, because maybe it's their first time or the first few times you've read the book and you know the red dot was a long time ago in this book, it's the first color, that gives you an opportunity as the parent to scaffold a little bit and give a little bit extra. You can say things like, oh man, you can't remember where the red came from. I remember that it had something to do with him being at the breakfast table. He was sitting on the floor and Vicky, his owner, was having breakfast. She was having something red for breakfast. I wonder what that could be. And you're still leaving it open-ended, but you've given them a little bit more information to support their recall. You're not giving them the answers all the time. You're giving them just very helpful information so that they can kind of answer that question for themselves. And you can do that with all of these, as many as you think your kid can really work with you on. And it helps for their memory and also helps for them linking together information so they can come out with the right conclusions for questions. So after you've discussed all of Dog's different spots and had a chance to recall what's caused them, the last 2 pages in this book offer up a great opportunity for working on making predictions. Making predictions is a great asset for your kid to have in their early literacy toolbox because it shows that if you can make a prediction that makes sense in some way and it follows logical reasoning, it means that your child is thinking about things in a logical manner. They're making connections between what's happened in the past and using that past information, past experience, to make a good, solid, logical, educated guess about what could happen in the future. So for the next 2 pages, we have Dog taking a bath. So I always like to kind of preface this page before I turn it with, Dog has gotten all of these spots today. He sure has had a very messy day. He's got jam, he's got paint, he's got mud, he's got orange juice and ice cream and everything else. He's so messy, there's no way he can go back in the house like that. I wonder what he's gonna do. Or I wonder what Vicky's gonna do. One prediction could be, he should take a bath and get himself very nice and clean. And then the next prediction you could kind of set up for your kid to answer is, goodness, Dog has had a very long day. He went outside all day. He played in the street. He played in the park. He rolled around in the mud and the grass. He met lots of people. And then he had a bath. I would be so tired. I bet Dog is so tired from that long, long day. What do you think he's gonna do now at the end of his day? Go to bed? Yes, go to bed. He goes to his bed because it's the end of the day, and it puts a nice, from a story perspective, it puts a nice kind of resolution on the fact that this whole book, this whole story takes place in one day for Dog. And so it starts in the morning, it's at breakfast time, and then it ends with the thing that we all do at the end of the day, we go to bed. So that would be the end of it. And that, to me, all of the things we just talked about are the things I love about this book, because it keeps things plain and simple, and it gives you as a parent and as a storyteller for your child a good solid foundation upon which to build higher language and higher literacy skills. So I hope you enjoy it. Check out Dog's Colorful Day by Emma Dodd.